guys, it's Cassie Reyes, IBCLC Lactation Consultant, and I wanted to talk today to you about supplementing in a breastfed baby, specifically supplementing with formula. I had one of you reach out to me recently saying, can you make a video on supplement feeding with formula while breastfeeding? Having to give formula to provide enough food for my son to gain weight after breastfeeding, but I don't want my supply to go away. Too early to tell if I'll always have to supplement while breastfeeding. And I love this question because I think a lot of people feel a lot of shame or guilt or feelings in general around having to give their baby formula, especially if your goal and plan was to give them 100% human milk. So let's talk about that. There are medical reasons that babies might need to receive formula, and that's okay. And that doesn't mean that lactation has failed. That doesn't mean that you've failed as a parent. And it doesn't mean that you'll never get back to your goal of exclusive breastfeeding, chest feeding, exclusive pumping, exclusively giving your baby human milk. So sometimes things like in this baby's case, weight gain isn't where we need it to be. Maybe the baby has jaundice that isn't getting any better with other treatments. Maybe the baby has blood sugar issues in the beginning. Maybe the baby has a tongue tie or the parent has low supply. There are so many reasons that may come up that might require the baby to need a little extra formula. And this isn't in all cases. So I definitely recommend working with a lactation consultant to help you figure out when it is necessary to give your baby formula. But sometimes it is in fact necessary. And what we would do in that case is encourage the parent to do some extra pumping. So anytime that we're introducing formula, which is going to fill that baby's belly and give them the nutrients that they need in that case, we want to then go to the parent's body with a pump and stimulate a little extra, try to remove a little extra milk to protect their milk supply. So anytime a baby is starting to be supplemented, we are going to be thinking about getting that parent started with a pump. The best way to protect milk supply when having to give baby a bottle or some extra formula is to introduce that pumping, to give that parent's body that extra stimulation, to remove a little extra milk, because as we've talked about a lot on this channel, body works on a system of supply and demand. So the more that we ask for milk from the body, the more milk it's going to make. And when a baby's receiving a little formula, they might be full for longer and they might not come as frequently to eat at the breast or chest, and we may start to see a reduction in supply if we don't introduce that pumping. This person specifically was concerned about whether or not they will need to supplement long term, and that really is an individual case-to-case basis. Of course, each person's body is different in how much milk they're going to produce. If they're doing this extra pumping, the goal is to be able to up that supply, find out what was at the root cause of that baby's low weight gain, and hopefully by getting to the root cause, maybe it was a tongue tie, maybe it was a poor latch, maybe it was low supply, fixing whatever was causing the initial problem while protecting the parent's supply, while giving the baby the extra milk they need, and working on this sort of plan, hopefully with a lactation consultant helping you out. The goal is to get you to a place where either you've tried everything you can and we get you back to exclusive human milk if that's your goal, or we get you to a place where you are comfortable and not stressed with a schedule of directly feeding your baby, pumping, maybe just exclusively pumping, and supplementing if supplementation continues to be necessary. Another thing I wanted to mention about introducing formula to a baby, if your goal is to nurse your baby, is to remember to pick a slow flow nipple and to slow the baby down when they're eating at a bottle so that they're not getting a super fast flow. Keep that nice paced bottle feeding. I do have a video on paced bottle feeding, but paced bottle feeding is a way that you slow the baby down while they're eating at a bottle, so they're not sucking it down so quickly that when they do come back to the breast or chest, they're not frustrated with the slower flow and how hard they have to work to get the milk out. Paced bottle feed would look like holding the bottle horizontally instead of up and down like this to slow down the flow, and also giving the baby breaks. So if they're sucking, and then give them a little break, either tip the bottle down or take it away for a little bit. See how they're cueing. If you tip it down and they start sucking actively on their own and looking for more milk, tip it back up horizontally. It is okay if the nipple isn't completely full of milk. Don't worry, you're not going to fill your baby's belly with too much air or cause them to have more colic. Paced bottle feeding is a good way to feed any bottle fed baby, but it's a really good way to protect nursing if that's your end goal. There's nothing wrong with that. If your baby needed it, your baby needed it. You didn't do anything wrong. And my biggest hope for you is that you find the support you need in getting you closer to your initial goal, or getting you to that place where you're comfortable with the plan that you come up with your lactation consultant. So anyway, I hope that's helpful to any of you who have had to use a little bit of formula on your lactation journey. I'm going to leave a link down below for my free survival guide for the first 1 to 5 days of lactation. And I'm also going to leave a link so that you can sign up for virtual visits with me if you're needing a little extra support with any of this. Take care, guys. I know you're working so hard on this. Remember, don't quit on your worst day. It does get easier. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.